and again, I just want to echo what you said. This has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. So, we support Israel. I'm, probably one of the more outspoken people in our field against racism. I did a Thursday Night Theology episode in season 1, but just about racism, which is a sin that we don't often like to talk about at all in the mainstream church and prophecy and anywhere. And so I am definitely, I proudly say that I'm anti-racist, which has become a controversial term for some reason, but it's not controversial to me. I mean, I am. And I support Israel. I put, Jerusalem on the cover of my book. So, it is God's holy land. The Israelites are God's holy people. The church is not Israel, right? We're two separate. We're not replacing Israel. We are their adopted brethren. Right. So that's a biblical fact. So it really has nothing to do with racism or prejudice in any way. But we have to really be, because again, and I believe in this on why is this controversial? Yes. Is it because of Zionist agenda? Right. And I don't identify Zionism with the Bible. Right. I don't think of Zionism as Old Testament Judaism as the same thing.
Yeah.
But so that's one part of it. But the other part of it, I will blame on the church. And again, just like the Nephilim not being taught, think about, this idea of a synagogue of Satan and a people who are going to say they're Jews, but they're not. There are certain prophecies, and even Gog Magog, that Gog Magog is very hard to understand. Ezekiel, that's not an easy chapter to understand. Those two chapters, rather, aren't easy to understand. A statement about the synagogue of Satan, that's a very clear and really, frankly, strange statement. That's a strange statement because it's said very clearly. And this is Jesus speaking, saying there's going to be a group of people who are proclaiming that they're Jews, who are saying, obviously, they have a synagogue, but they are not.
Yes.
There's not mystery about that. You don't have to dig deep and connect and tie passages together. Jesus said it plainly. This is so who are they? And the reason why I blame the church is, again, just like I said, I've never heard a pastor connect Ezekiel 38 and 39, the Gog Magog coalition, to the table of nations in Genesis chapter 10. I've never ever, and I've searched it. I've never heard a sermon that discuss the synagogue of Satan from Revelation in the actual context of what Jesus is saying. I've heard that title thrown around a lot, but they use it to refer to another group. They'll say that has nothing to do with Jewish people at all. Yeah. But I've heard it used as a kind of as an insult or a pejorative term. But no one wants to talk about it. No one wants to preach about it. Yeah. So when you bring it up, it seems like, wow, this is controversial, but I think it's because there's been no real significant teaching on what does that mean, and is it literal, and if it is, well then who is this, and what is their agenda, and why are they doing it?